Hey, what's poppin', YouTubers? It's New York's finest, hosted by Mike. I could have done this video earlier, but I decided to wait because I wanted to make sure I didn't cheat you guys. Because you guys know I like being straightforward and truthful. And I wanted to make sure I didn't fuck myself up. I need to start figuring out a way to better protect myself from buying stuff that I could lose out on money. Um, like, for instance, on Facebook Marketplace, I met up with this guy in Elizabeth. One thing that kind of bothered me is when he was like, "Oh," he was asking about my car. Then he was like, "Yeah, I don't know cars, man, but this thing is beautiful." I get that a lot. I mean, I get a lot of people that don't like Mustangs at all. They don't like Ford whatsoever, or Mustangs, and they're like, "Yo, but your fucking car is amazing." Like, if I would ever get a Mustang, I would have you do it. Like, I've had that. I've heard that a million fucking times. People that have Chargers and Challengers, I'm talking about like 700-800 horsepower, fucking 6.4 and better V8 engines. That be like, yo, man, this car is, I mean, I've had people, like, yo, would you want to trade? And I give, I mean, I'm dead ass, man. It's crazy. But anyhow, this guy was talking about that, and he started, so when he started talking about the car, then he came out with the DS, whatever the hell this is. What is this? A DS Lite or a DSi? And I was a little, at first, I was a little nervous because he said he didn't have a charger with it. I didn't want to look because I was in a lot of pain, but I should have did more due diligence on Facebook Marketplace to make sure I had a charger, or at least to make sure it worked. I was supposed to have met up with a couple people today. Yesterday, I met up with a guy in Jersey City, the good part of Jersey City though, right before the Highland Tunnel, right by the mall over there in Jersey City. He lives in that up and coming part of Jersey City. And was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? Well, whatever the fucking day it was, I got a PS4 special edition in a box from him. I'm, like I said, I'm trying to box all my video game systems. That's what I'm trying to do because yeah, that's just what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have everything boxed. Will I keep everything? Most likely, no. I might just see where I'm at with what I spent into it and then sell everything off to the one individual that I know that can afford to buy everything without any mishaps or hiccups, and he can make money on it and be comfortable with paying me what I want to pay. I mean, what I want to get for it, which is the same guy I've been buying a lot of stuff for the last couple of months. Ever since he brought my Trella at the flea market. I mean, this guy has brought tons of shit from me anyway. And I was already having a decent day at the market. And he just became my sole guy to sell shit. So I had two other individuals that's what had brought video game stuff from me. One guy, he's a little hesitant. The other guy, he's always running around telling everybody how he pays more than others. But he's a little flip floppy, Oh, I got too much of this, I got too much of that, but I'll take this. Nah, man, nah, fuck that. So this guy, I don't have to worry about that. So I basically cut ties with everybody when it comes to selling, and he's just the only primary person I'll be selling to. Period. Because he's no bullshit. He pays, and again, there's no filter with him. If the price is right, if he can make money on it, I mean, he'll make. Like, I trust him. That's the best way I could put it. But anyhow, going back to this. So I came home. I was nervous. I was like, yo, I mean, I don't even know why I didn't. Normally, I try to, work deals with people. I don't know why the fuck I didn't do that with him. I came home and thank God this fucking thing works and comes on, because that was $60 I could have lost out on. Same thing with this. I brought this from the My Unique in Elizabeth. Ironically, this is the only thing that I got from the My Unique in Elizabeth directly after I met up with this guy. Because he was literally like not even 2 miles, and that shit hurt. My fucking finger just hit the goddamn fucking table. And yeah, so right after meeting up with this dude, I went to the My Unique and got this thing. Now, these Neanderthals had $105 on this. $104.99 they had on this 2DS. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I see people in toy shows, and I've seen people up on Facebook Marketplace asking about about $130 on these. I've said it before, and I will continue to say it. This time, I would say around late April, May to like October, November, the toy market and the video game market is at its worst. You know, like it's at its lowest. It always have been, but you know what I'm saying. But for some fucking reason, this season of 2025, it's the opposite. I don't know what the fuck kind of boom that's going on, but the toy market and its hot ass weather and the video game market is crazy. It is booming. I don't know why. Maybe because I decided after I done sold off a lot of decent shit to Eunice and some other individuals. Now all of a sudden, as soon as I decide to start getting into this shit, now all of a sudden everything's slowing down. For some fucking reason, that's the luck I got. My luck is so fucking horrible. Irish people don't want to be my friends. You know what I mean? And you guys don't know what that means or anything. It probably went over your head. You know, that's basically, you know how they say, you know, the luck of the Irish. That's why I made that statement, you know. But anyhow, so I woke up and I don't understand how I left the house at 5:30, got gas, which only takes me 4 or 5 minutes to get to the gas station, be fully loaded and driving off, because the gas station is literally at the end of the block. But for some strange reason, I left my house at 5:30. You figure I'm already on the Garden State Parkway no later than fucking 5:45. Explain to me why today, and I was booking it. I don't understand what kind of time warp I was in, but when I got out my car at the Columbus Flea Market, it was exactly fucking 7:10 a.m. I don't know how on God's green fucking earth, the way I was driving, how the hell I get there that late. It normally takes me, on my slowest time, it takes me about an hour to 50 something minutes because I'm so used to traveling. But for some reason today, I got there around 22 minutes, almost 22 minutes later. I mean, I as soon as I got out the car, I was like, what the fuck? I looked at the time and I was like, wait a minute, how the fuck did I get here at this time? And I left the house at XYZ. Like, I can't understand it. There was no traffic, no nothing. Fucking weird, man. Like, wow. But anyhow, I went to the market today. Where I was parked, I was lucky enough to get some stuff because normally on Thursdays, I normally start in the old section, but in the last row from where you come in at. And I normally, that's why I normally start because I park around that area. But for some fucking reason, again, me getting there a little later today, most of the, you know, like that row where you can park at in the old section or antique section, it was fucking packed. And I was like, yo, that's how I was like, wait a minute, I was dropping them, like I was confused. And then as soon as I parked on the other side of where I'm talking about, and I looked at the time as I was, you know, pressing the start button to turn the car off and get out. I looked at the time and I'm like, what the fuck? And I found it strange. But anyhow, so I did get some stuff. I did pass up the first deal with this individual, which is like the Spanish kid. He's a reseller. Normally it's him and his boy. His boy wear glasses. Real cool guys. He's kind of pricey, but I mean, I'm pretty sure wherever he lives at, he spends a lot. They both spend a lot of time, going to thrift shops and buying shit, and probably online, probably doing the same thing I'm doing, and so many of us all doing. They just lucky enough to know where to go and get stuff to where they're not struggling as much. Now, the last time I had video game stuff here in the house, I was actually collecting games. I had game stuff when we bought the house. Loose stuff. And it just grew and grew because the thrift shops out here over the years, I was finding a lot more stuff than I ever did in a city for like not even, way more than a fraction of the price. And I can almost go anywhere. I could almost go to any thrift shop. And then I had hookups with people who worked in thrift shops and things of that nature. So I would get a lot of stuff. And then even when I went to Red, White, and Blue and stuff, and a lot of the guys wasn't big into gaming like that. They were more into the clothing and other electronics. So it was extremely easy for me to go home with a lot of toys, and a lot of video game systems and games itself. But ever since COVID, even somebody's grandmother now, you know, you go to these garage sales and everybody looks everything up on eBay. Everybody knows a little bit more about this, that, and a third now. So it's very, very hard, at least out here, to come across a lot of shit for a relatively great steal. You heard I said steal, not deal. You know what I mean? But I have been in contact with certain individuals, and certain people do look out for me. Some people supposed to, but price is a little absurd. So I don't deal with, you know, like we just, you know, they just don't reach out to me anymore. Cause I don't like that shit where you call me and you call me or you send me pictures. Hey, I got this, that, and the third. I'm looking for this for it. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, I got this stuff, but this isn't available anymore. And I don't like that. Don't offer me shit and then you take it away. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, nah, I don't like cherry picking shit. No, you keep your shit, rub it on your chest and have a fucking good day. But anyway, going back to this. So I brought from, I think about 4 vendors. Perry wasn't there today. Perry, he wasn't there. Mike was there. He did show up. He had a lot of fucking ghouls and seagulls around him. But I don't know if he said he didn't have any video game stuff today. But he did have a whole bunch of Legos. He wanted $250 for the Lego stuff. But from what I saw, it wasn't worth it for me. I mean, I'm pretty sure Eunice would have took it all, but I probably would have just about broke even on it, from what he had. And the other guy, Andrew, this is the second Thursday he wasn't there. Now, I don't know if he didn't show up because he didn't have anything. Most likely, I think he just didn't show up because the weather. I think because the weather, I think, kind of scared everybody off from the rain last night. It was a lot of people there, but a lot of vendors you expected to be there weren't. And again, Mike did show up. I even seen Jerry and Jerry's Matt there. I think I even seen Hospital. Yeah, I did see Hospital Matt as I was leaving. We sort of had made a deal last Sunday, but I was reserving my money that needed to be reserved because the Cherry Hill show. I mean, I'm not gonna call it a Joe show. It seems like the more me, Fam, Eric, and Alex go there, the worse it gets. But we found out that Saturday was the day to go, not Sunday, but you know, it is what it is. It was kind of it was a shitty show. The more we go, like the first 2 or 3 times we went, man, it was like fucking vintage G.I. Joe heaven. Prices were crazy, but it was like a 2-hour versus 12-hour version of Augusta, Georgia when we first went. I mean, the who's of who's and it was crazy. But as time went by, you got more people showing up with bullshit and the same the same shit I can drive fucking 20 minutes up to Wayne and see, you know, and probably even get better shit, you know. I just thank God it wasn't no garbage ass Funko Pops there, but most of the people were there with shit that you could pick up at any fucking hobby shop, any regular monthly toy show, and then they're looking at you with an attitude like, dude, look what I got. And I'm like, I don't want that garbage. And 3 different people I had to tell that to. And they're like, oh, well, you know, hey, I got some stuff. I said, you don't got what I want. And the guy was like, well, let me know. How you know? I said, I know because you got garbage. I told him just like that. Just like when I be at Columbus and people walk by, hey, brother, you know, you walk around with a mean mug face, and you know, you look me right in my face and don't say nothing to me. I said, well, then why don't you initiate the hello then? If I always walk around me mugging and you look at me eye to eye and don't have nothing to say back, then one brother was like, all right, man, but yo, man, you know, check this out, fam. I'm like, listen, I drive an hour down here for toys and video games, not for nobody's clothes and none of that nonsense. And I walk away, and it may hurt some people's feelings. They may be like, damn, this guy's an asshole. I don't give a fuck. I'll be the first one to admit I'm a dickhead. I know I'm an asshole. I like being that because that's just my nature and who the fuck I am. But at the same time, if I want something you have, I'm going to approach you and ask you on it. Just like when I'm selling at the flea market. I don't do that. You know, people be like, yo, everything $1. Come look. I don't do none of that shit. If somebody's going to buy, they're going to buy. If they're not going to buy, they're not going to buy. I'm not going to sit here and beg you, directly or indirectly to buy my shit. And at the end of the day, I don't do that. Everything $1. I don't do none of that shit. I don't do any of that. You know what I'm saying? My prices are what they are, and if they don't sell this week, they'll sell next. If they don't sell next week, they'll sell a week after. If they don't sell a week after that, I donate it. And that's exactly what the fuck I do, y'all. You know, y'all see Isaiah over there in the cut. You know, he getting, you know, look how big and old this nigga getting. Dude getting old and tall as shit, you know. Look at him. He was a little kid, like, now look at his little, look at him. Driving and all and shit, trying to be all, have a mustache and beard like me and his brother, this little bastard. But anyway, y'all, so getting back to this, so other than that, it was a pretty decent day. It was fucking hot as shit. When I left, it was nice little breeze. About maybe 15 minutes after I got out the car, after I noticed why I got there so fucking late, when I don't understand. It was like a weird, man. I'm still puzzled by it. Just crazy. But anyhow, so I did get stuff from people. I forgot. I think the kid is either Spanish, Middle Eastern, or Italian. How many are there? You gonna take one of my meatballs, you motherfucker? Why you just didn't tell Michelle to give you one, you little fuck?
Because I didn't expect.
You still gonna take my meatball? Go ahead, it's all right.
Because the fettuccine looks really bad.
You don't like it?
No.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
I know you're not gonna eat my meatball. I mean, eat the meatball right out of my thing.
Just put it.
Just take the meatball. What he didn't like his food? What he had?
The fettuccine with white cream
It's not
sauce.
even Alfredo's. Like.
Well, they didn't have a menu, so they tried to.
Yeah, Michelle took him because she's gonna be working the next couple of weeks, heavy, and their birthday's almost 2 weeks apart from each other. So she, went to take him to the Soho and got him some jewelry made, a bracelet, tonight. So she brought some food back. What's that?
The white cream sauce with chicken.
That's mine or that's Isaiah?
That's Isaiah's, but he said he don't like it. Yours is on the counter.
But ask him if he like mine then.
Did you try Dad's, Isaiah?
I'm good.
No, if you like mine, just take most of mine. Just leave me a little bit, and I'll just take yours.
I'm good.
All right.
Try it. Is it because
Yeah, so, again, her birthday, I don't like giving my kids information out and shit like that. I don't even like giving my information out, so I'm not going to say what, but their birthday is about 2 weeks apart from each other. But since she's been doing a lot of overtime and most likely she'll be real busy and shit, so she decided tonight to take him to get his early birthday present. And she went to the Soho and got him a bracelet made. But yeah, man, so that's basically everything. So I went to Columbus, then from Columbus, excuse me, so this is about 18 to 20 minutes away. I went to the Trenton area. I don't know what exact town it's considered, but it's near Trenton, so I call it Trenton. Red, white, and blue. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It was a lot of people, but not. It was weird. It was just a weird day at the flea market. Even with the weather, a lot of parking spaces were full in the old section, but hardly nobody in the new section. It was just fucking weird, real weird. Like almost like it was weird. Like if people knew something, if people knew a secret, nobody else knew. And then there was the same thing down in the Trenton red, white, and blue. I've been there plenty of times. I've never seen it that empty today. It was horrific. If I tell y'all it was about maybe 10 or 12 customers in that red, white, and blue, I'd be lying to y'all. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was really nobody in that red, white, and blue in the Trenton area. Or going to Trenton. I don't know what fucking township you call it. I always keep saying I'm going to go to Berlin. I'm going to go to the Berlin one. But the Berlin one is like 45 minutes away. So that 45 minutes is almost going to be almost a 2-hour drive for me. So, one day, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll go down and just, see what the hype's about. And if I like it, I'll go there again. If I don't like it, if I don't get a lot of good shit, I just won't go there ever again. But I'm already halfway there because the last 3 times I did go to the Trenton area, red, white, and blue, it was shit. But at least this time I did walk away with a couple of items. Nothing great. They did have I think it was a black DSi or DS Lite. They had $100 on that, and it was 25% off. But the difference between that and paying the price for the 2DS is because this is the 2DS. These again, I see these going for like 140, 150 in toy shows. Before I decided to now start getting into video gaming again. And again on Facebook Marketplace, I see people asking anywhere from 1.25 and up for a 2DS. The 2DSL, the 2DS XL, those the people want like 200 and better. I don't know why. That's fucking nuts. But anyhow, so I did get some stuff down in the red, white, and blue there. And then from there, on the way coming back up north, I did go to Union because I was hungry. So I had a couple of White Castle burgers, no onions, no cheese. So I had a couple of those and some, no onions, no pickle, I'm sorry. So I just got the meal. So I got 4 of those with like water and onion rings. So then from there, where the hell did I go? Oh yeah, then from there, I met up with a guy in Elizabeth, got this. Then from there, since I was already in Elizabeth, I went to the My Unique there and got this. And then from there, came home. So I'll show you guys everything here. I was getting so comfortable. Nah, I ain't want to get up. So let's get up. So the guy I was just talking about, I don't know if he's Middle Eastern, Italian, or Hispanic. Short guy. I met him mainly, I believe, at Meadowlands, and then I see him a lot in Columbus. And he buys big. He definitely buys a lot of shit. Him and this other tall white kid, they both buy. They both got I think they both know each other too. One has a black what do you call those fucking Sprinters? The other one got a white one. But this dude, I think he's Italian or something like it. It doesn't matter because he kind of talks and acts it, but you know who gives a flying fuck, right? But anyhow, he's cool guy, and he had stuff, and he kept saying he had video game, and I tried to get him to sell me the boxed Wii. Well, it was just a box, but he said he knows he have the Wii. And he also had the blue PlayStation 2 box, which I need. I don't want to give nobody no $70, $80 fucking dollars for one. And then he had the Zelda. He had the Zelda gun box, but he kept that stuff. So I walked back around again, and I was able. And it's funny because he had this one box. He had one big black bin that had a whole bunch of video games, like just consoles, but the consoles looked kind of rough. And this. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. My fucking hand. Sometimes, like my nerve jumps from my finger being broken, and that's what happened there. But this particular Dreamcast was loose. It is missing a side cover piece, as you can see back there, but it does turn on. Hopefully, it works. They both spin. Remember how I told you guys, whenever a system has a game in it, 8+% of the time it normally always works. So I'm hoping that's the case. The yellow one came in a box. This one didn't, but there was like a whole bunch of systems on top of this. And I didn't know what this box was, so I left it. But then I think I went back 2 times. The third time I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let me just see what's under all these consoles. What was under the consoles? A fucking boxed Sega Dreamcast. This is why you should, if you're there, just look. Just fucking look. Because I'd have been real pissed off at myself and mad the whole fucking day if somebody else grabbed this out and I'd be like, oh shit. Because there was this white dude, gray t-shirt, glasses, looked like a fucking tall version of a mix between Peter from Family Guy and Dilbert. And this guy was kind of pissing me off because he was lurking around trying to figure out what the price was, and then he asked, oh, is this your pile? And I'm like, yeah, that's my pile. He knew it was my shit because he seen me putting in there and still looking at stuff. Then all the other vultures came around, and I'm like, oh my God. So it gets to the point where a lot of people just piss you the fuck off. And by them being vultures and being too fucking thirsty, I don't do that. You grab something, you got something, I walk the fuck away. I don't sit there and be hoggling, oh, what do you got? I hate that shit. You know what I mean? But I don't like to make a scene, because you make a scene, then it gives the the seller a big head, and now the seller might want more for it. They want to look it up, or then they'll be like, hey, they want to start a bidding war. It's just crazy. And he was like, oh, well, my grandson, I don't give, and I'm like, dude, like, good for your grandson. I said just like that. I said, good for your grandson. Like, people think just because they got kids, I don't give a fuck if the motherfucker had cancer and he was dying. I don't give a flying fuck. If he got like a couple months to live and he needs a Sega Dreamcast. If I need one or I want one and you should have got there first. What the fuck you want me to tell you? Some days I might be in a good mood, but I get so tired of people with this bullshit. Oh, well, I'm not a reseller. My kid collects. And like, your priorities and your family's priorities have nothing to do with me or mine. You don't give a flying fuck about me or mine, so why the fuck should I give a flying fuck about you? I don't give a shit about this nigga's grandson. You go fuck yourself, cracker boy. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is. I don't give a fuck if people like me or don't like me. I spit the truth. I say shit you guys are too afraid to say, and I speak my fucking mind. And I don't give a flying fuck what anybody think of me. I never did, and I never will. Whether you like me or don't like me, that's your choice, your decision. My mom always told me there's gonna be people on this earth that like you, and there's gonna be way more people on this earth that don't. So don't give a flying fuck either way, because either way you gotta live on and do your life according to you. And that's just the way I carry myself and how I do things, and don't give a flying fuck. Anyhow, so get back to that. So I was getting pissed off because he fucking following around the whole market, and I started to say something to this guy, but it was so fucking hot at that particular point. And then he was like, oh, hey, somebody over there have a Sega Game Gear in the box. And I'm like, oh, word, well, good for them. I don't like dealing with those systems, because if the audio works, the visual doesn't. If the visual does, the audio doesn't. So I kind of like brushed it off, but I did look around the market like 4 or 5 times, asking anybody if nobody heard or knew anything about a Sega fucking Game Gear in the box, and I didn't see one. And I walked around the market numerous times just to make sure. So I think he was just saying that to pull my leg or just being a dick. I don't know. I don't even know why he would bring that up. Like, why the fuck would you think I would care about a Sega Game Gear? Unless you knew that I bought a Sega Dreamcast, and maybe you think I'm a Sega collector, and maybe you just feel you want to say. I don't know why people do and say the dumb shit that they do or say. But he was just aggravated and mad because I got the Sega Dreamcast and he didn't. He seen me pull it right out the bottom of the box, and I could see that oh shit look in his face, because I've had that look numerous times. Only difference is I don't hate on people, and I don't go following them around and seeing what they're going to do with it. And I'm pretty confident he was probably going to ask me, am I willing to sell it or whatever? And I would have been like, yo, my man, check this out. I brought it because I want it. And that would have been the end of it. You know what I mean? But anyhow, so I got all this stuff from him. I paid $150. I got the 2 Sega Dreamcasts. Of course, the one that's more off-white or kind of discolored came in a box. The one that's pure white or more cleaner was on top of it with a whole bunch of other systems. I probably could have got all the other systems too for a cheap price, but I didn't want them because my hand hurt it and I wasn't trying to untangle all those wires. It was fucking hot, and I just left all that shit because I got a lot of shit downstairs in the basement. I need to start organizing and trying to figure out what boxes I got for what. So outside of that, so I got a boxed Sega Dreamcast, hopefully working because the game was in there. This one, and that's it. And then I also got the top loading NES controller, I think. Oh no, that's the Max. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? This piece. I got PS3's Rayman Origins, PS3 God of War, PS4 Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, PS4 Conan Exiles, 360's Forza Motorsport 4, Xbox One's Need for Speed, and Xbox One Star Wars Battlefront Ultimate Edition. So I got all that stuff for $150. Now moving on to the other Spanish kid that I always forget his name, that I've gotten a lot of great deals from. I mean, he taxes though. when I first got there, of course, first person I saw was him. Because I like I said, I walked the opposite. I walked the front aisle first from back. From the back of the property to the front, which is always total opposite of what I've always done. And he wanted 200 for the box Nintendo 64, which is a good deal in itself because last Sunday, a guy wanted, I think, 2 or 250 for just that. I was with Fam Eric and Alex before we went to the Cherry Hill Shit Show. And I wound up getting a good deal on the same exact one with, I think, a couple of items for, I forgot what I paid, but, you know, this kid, I mean, you know, he had the Nintendo 64, the Ready to Rumble boxing game for the 64, 64's WWF Warzone, Mayhem, No Mercy, WCW versus NWA, 3 different Turok games, and Mario Party. And you got the Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero game, and all that was $200. Again, what he wanted 200 for was the Nintendo 64, all the Nintendo 64 games. I did make a deal with him earlier because I was like, nah, I was trying to get him to sell it cheaper, but he said, yeah, that's the lowest he would go because he got too much into it. And he had these 2 DS lights. The white one did work. He had a Mario game in there, and he said, I'm doing 40 for both. So I was like, oh, okay, so that means the silver one doesn't work because I know he's a reseller, but I guess he didn't charge it long enough or whatever. But I mean, $40 just for the white one is perfect because again, he's got the Mario game inside, and these sell for around $60-$70. There's a Mexican guy that comes there on Sundays. He's in the L section, and he wants $100 for his handhelds and more. Again, I've been at toy shows where I've seen people asking $80 for a white, the same one, not even in this condition, and they're asking $85-$90 for them. So, again, like I said, this time of the year, video gaming is always at its lowest peak. But for some fucking strange reason, this year of 2025, video gaming is, I think, at its almost the highest, because you know, toys and video games aren't that desirable this time of the year because everybody's out and about. But for some strange reason, this year is different. So I did plug these up. Of course, this one it works anyway. This one here does work. It comes on and everything. So. Hey, $40 for both. Never gonna complain. This white dude here, I brought stuff from him last week, and every couple of weeks or whatever, when I see him there on Thursdays, his prices are very, very good. I think I paid $40 for all this stuff from him. This I paid somebody $5 for by itself. This is an individual other seller, so we got 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I was right. So I think I brought from 4 different people at the market. So this was $5. I guess he got $5 for this frog. And the white dude I'm telling you about, he had this Star Wars Chewbacca's bayonet. This turtle thing, it does have a turtle in it. Or, I mean, it has something in it. I don't know what. Couldn't figure out how to open it. So it's this, these 2 legs, this Power Ranger guy that goes into these legs. This Batman is missing the 2 front things. This Venom. No, that's not Venom. That's Spider-Man. And then this bag of the Star Wars versions of like the mini Micro Machine type shit. So all that was $40. So again, that was including this, these 2, this, and this. $40 for that. This was $5 from another individual. So again, I brought from 4 different vendors. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So wait, no. 5, because I forgot I brought this from this guy too. So 5 vendors. And this actually came in. This came from Whatnot. No, eBay. This was an eBay purchase. Just a box. like I said, I'm trying to, collect and get all this stuff boxed. Because, you get more, if I sell everything off, you get more money when things are complete and boxed. Less mess and, it's more complete. Now, this kid here again, outside of this, let me just move this out the way. All that's going to do is confuse everybody, including my ass. So, him, again, before I came back, I made this deal. This was 40. He gave me these 3 for extra 20 because I paid up basically $300 for all this shit. So as I'm coming around the third time, he actually did have another video game thing. He had the boxed Super Game Boy. The Super Game Boy's in there, is in pristine condition. It has all the paperwork and everything, even the insert. And this other kid I knew him for years, at least 15, 16 years, from Brooklyn. From the Aqueduct when I was selling there. Him, his mother, and father. He's actually a motorsman now. Real cool kid. So he was trying to make a deal with him. He said, well, I'll offer you $200 for everything, but thanks anyway. I knew he wasn't going to take it because I was standing there. And he wouldn't take less than $200 for just the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64 stuff. So he said he wanted like $100 for the Super Game Boy, but he would do $80 or whatever. So we actually, think we did $260. So we did $260, and he gave me these. He wanted $25, and I said, let's make it an even number. Let's make it $280. So for $280, and then an extra $40, even though that was not part of the deal, but I basically gave him $320. I got 2 of these DS lights. I got all the Nintendo 64 stuff, and that adapter did come with a white one, I believe. And then I also got these 3 G1 Transformers. All that for $320. So, yep, that was good. So $320, $40, $5, and $10. Not to mention the $150 for this stuff. So I paid up, but it's a decent table of shit. I'm keeping the Dreamcast stuff. I'm keeping the Super Game Boy. I may keep only the Mario Party for the Nintendo 64, the other 64, and the Ready to Rumble boxing. All the other games I'm actually gonna sell all. Oh, and the Sub-Zero. So all the wrestling games and the Torox is going with the system. And this actually came, that Mario DS empty case came with this stuff for the $150. And this guy here, I asked him how much was this. I warmed my car up. I actually had my car on, locked the door, and walked around the whole market again. And but before then, I asked the guy, well, what are you asking on the 360? He said $10, everything. And I was like, okay. I said, can I pay you now? And my car's right there. I'm gonna leave with you, and I'll walk back around just in case I find something else, and whatever. And he's like, sure. So $10. I got this Xbox 360. It does come on, no yellow or red light of death, so that's a plus. I dodged a bullet today. I have to figure out a better way to protect myself, especially from Facebook marketplaces, because I noticed ever since the pain in my finger, I've always been fucking kind of clueless, but to be honest with you guys, ever since this pain, I would have never been that much of an imbecile by giving somebody $60 for this, giving them the asking price when I should have and could have gotten it cheaper. But I was lucky enough to where it is charging and it does work. So I dodged a bullet there. But there's going to be times where if I fuck up like that again, I could lose out on my money. So I should let this be a lesson to me. When you buying from thrift shops that don't have stuff or have any power, that is kind of like, and you can't take it back. Like everything is as is, no returns, no exchanges. That's just the way if that was the case, no thrift shop would be in business. So this was actually fucking, but it's in great condition and it does work. Thank God. Again, I dodged another bullet today. Person's name is on it, but look at the price these assholes put on this. $105 they put. So somebody else thought it was crazy. That's why it stayed there for a couple of days, but I wound up getting it for 25% off. So to be honest, for anybody who's collected stuff, I mean, you know, paying 100 to even 120 for that is practical. It's not like stupid. It is practical. But the fact that other people were resellers and they were like, I was able to get it for 25% off. So it wound up being like $83 or something like that. And then this is all I got from the Trenton area red, white, and blue. This was like $7 for a Wii adapter. This bag of I don't even know why. I only brought it because there was nothing else to buy. Also $7, and this was $3. Being that, you know, these two other Power Ranger bad guys are in here. That's what I brought. So yeah, that's my whole day. I know I spoke over an hour, but I don't know. I just feel like talking. I mean, I am in pain, and you know, I just feel like talking, and you know, here you guys go. Here you guys have it. I don't think anybody really found anything today. If they did, they probably got stuff or found stuff earlier and put it in their cars. People do that. You know, I walk around with a wagon, and if my wagon is full, I'll take it to the car, then come back again or whatever. So hopefully, you know, next week the Meadowland's supposed to be open. Or is it this weekend? Maybe it's this Saturday. Whatever. Anyhow, thanks for watching.